Dear doTERRA family, welcome to our weekly webinar. I hope you're doing great and have some good times ahead. Please let me take you now exclusively to Utah. I am proud to present for the next webinar some amazing presentations from our Leadership Retreat 2022. Watching these films, you can learn, feel excited, and get connected. Imagine you will be there like watching it from the very first row. I would suggest to get something to write notes, some refreshing drinks, and last but not least, turn on your diffuser and use your most loved oil. Please lean back, relax, and enjoy the trainings.
Yeah, I want you to know, she's used that example. I want you to know Emily has a very bright mind, okay? And so we work together really well. And if the truth be known, I do have a little itty-bitty heart. Maybe you have to ask my wife to find that heart, but I do have a heart. Anyway, I want to take a few minutes now and talk to you about this role. I'm more comfortable with Emily on the stage. I want to share with you that what happened that changed my life back in November when Dave called me into his office and told me the news that he and Laria were going to go off on a mission. At that point, they didn't know where they were going to go in the world. They just knew they would be gone. And I said 4 dangerous words that you want to be really careful with, okay? I said, "Oh, Dave, that's wonderful." Well, the 4 words were, "How can I help?" Okay? And this is what you get. How can I help, right? But I want you to know I'm excited about what Dave and Laria are doing. Janice and I had an opportunity, somewhat similar, in a much safer, much more beautiful part. Oh, I'm sure Armenia and Georgia are beautiful, but we were in Australia, okay, so it was a little bit better. But he's going to have a wonderful experience, and I'm excited about the future. I want to tell you that when we announced this, some of you will remember this day, when we announced this, it will forever be etched in my mind. On December 21st, when we announced this change, my life really changed, okay? And while I feel like I have had the experience to be able to do this highlights some of my background. You know, I have an MBA. I've worked in public accounting. I worked for another company for a long time. You know, I've spent 26 years really at a C-level operation in a direct selling company. I think I have the skills to be able to do this. But after it was announced, there was this feeling. And in early January, after the holiday, and I came back and I'm working long hours, I had a greater appreciation than I've ever had of all that Dave has ever done, okay? Can we thank Dave for all that he has done, right? Yes. I can tell you, yeah. Dave, stand up. Take a bow, Dave. Yeah. And Laria by his side. Yeah, I can tell you. Yeah. Okay, Dave will want me to stop that for now so he can sit down. I can tell you, like all of you, okay, as leaders, sometimes it was much easier for me to be in the room, but to not be the CEO, right? It's easy to kibitz and say, well, maybe we should do this, right? Well, now when you're the CEO, it's a little bit different. And David's managed that so beautifully over 14 years and created such a strong foundation. So the days that I feel overwhelmed, I think, wow, what a strong foundation I have in order to move the business forward. I have Emily at my side. Dave started with nothing, right? And really created this amazing organization. Well, we have such a strong foundation. We have a strong management team, a wonderful board. We have all of you, right, as leaders. And I realize that my job is actually quite simple, just to bring us together, right? And I'll talk more about that in a minute. You know, when I think about what it takes to be successful in anything in life, in my view, it really takes 3 attributes, Three things that we need to focus on. We need to focus on our skill set, right? Do we have the skills to be able to function in what we do? Do we have relationships? Do we work with people well? Do we get along with people? And then do we have passion for what we're doing, right? Think about this. This is a chart I developed some time ago. If you have skills and you have a relationship, so someone's really bright, they know what they're doing, they get along with other people, but they don't have passion, then they're viewed as kind of being privileged. They're aloof. They're not going to really be able to lead with confidence, right? If you have someone with great relationships and great passion, but they don't really know what they're doing, then they're viewed as pretty simplistic and no one's going to take them seriously, as much passion as they have, right? If you have great skill and great passion, but you don't get along with other people, then you're arrogant and no one wants to work with you, right? So think about it in each of those areas where maybe you as a leader, where I as a leader need to strengthen myself, because when we have those things in perfect balance, I believe we really have optimal performance, right? Now I want to share with you, I talked a little bit about some of my skills, having been involved in direct selling at a C-level position for a long time. I think I understand the direct selling world, right? I think I know what we're facing, right? That's not really the issue. I'm fairly confident in that. But I want to share with you some of my passions and then talk a little bit about relationship. For Janice and I, my wife Janice is here, and for Janice and I, our number one passion is always our family, right? We have a beautiful family. We have 8 children, 6 of them married. We now have 23 grandchildren with 2 more on the way. Yeah. We're excited and we love to support our children. And they're our number one priority. But I can tell you, in addition to that, the reason why when I talked to Dave, and Dave asked me to be the CEO, and I went home and talked to Janice about it, and we decided that the reason why we said yes, and the reason why we're here to lead is because we help the world heal. And there's no greater thing I'm passionate about today in my professional career, in my work, in my service, than helping the world come together. Okay? The world is divided. The world is challenged. When you listen to our media, you listen to our government, you listen to what's going on in the world, and there's so much fracturing that's happening in the world. I came across a survey a couple of months ago called the Edelman Trust Barometer. This was done with 36,000 people in the States. And they asked them, what role do different groups play in unifying and healing society, okay? And no surprise, media was at the bottom of the list. The government was right next to it, right? NGOs were pretty high. Businesses were the highest group that people had the most confidence in to solve the problems in the world today, okay? Businesses are seen as a unifying force in society, okay? And businesses are viewed as the most capable to get results and to actually get things done, right? So I'm excited about this. Obviously, in my role here, I'm trying to help us come together. But as Emily mentioned earlier, each of you run your own business, right? Each of you are influencing maybe 5 people, maybe 10, maybe 100 people that you have in your circle of influence as a leader. This is a leadership event. Some of you have 1,000 or several thousand. Some of you have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people in your organization. You can help the world heal, right? You are the answer to the world's problems. And that is what creates great passion for me. In addition, I have other passions, right? I love sports. This is a picture of me back when I played football in college. And the one when I was a quarterback, that was in high school. But the issue is my father was a professional football player. I love sports. But I also grew up on a farm, and I love supporting our growers. I want to talk about that for a minute. This leads into one of our goals of tripling our impact. I want to tell you that our inventory growth over the last few years has been phenomenal, okay? We have added over $160 million of inventory in our warehouses over the last 2 years. During the COVID time, when COVID happened, we committed to never be out of stock of On Guard again, ever, okay? We have inventory, warehouses full of inventory. I can guarantee you that you will not find another direct selling company anywhere that has invested as much in inventory today as doTERRA, okay? We are ready. We are ready for this growth, right? We are ready to change the world over the next few years. Let me give you an example of what this means as we have increased our inventory, okay? In the year 2020, we supported about 300,000 jobs in our growers, among our growers. That was an additional 860,000 lives we compute, plus 486,000 people in the communities through social impact projects. We were supporting 1.65 million lives that were being impacted for good through doTERRA. Because we've increased our inventory and our commitment to inventory, we now have increased it to 460,000 jobs, 1.3 million additional lives, 1.2 million people in communities. We're up to nearly 3 million lives impacted. We've doubled just over the last year or two, right? Is that remarkable? Now, let me tell you what happens in a company, right? When we get our teams together and we start talking about now tripling our impact, right? What does this mean to triple our impact, right? So, if we look at that, we had many on our team say, well, that was kind of an anomaly in 2021, right? We increased a lot. So if we're going to triple, let's go back to 2020 and triple from there and get up to 5 to 7 million lives, right? I've said, no, I don't think we need to do that, right? We're at 3 million lives today. Let's get to 10 million lives, right? Now, I want to tell you, some of these guys over here, some of these employees, some of our women and men employees who are amazing, we had this debate even a week ago, right? You see an impact report, right? Did you see the paper of an impact report? We're going to be accountable to you of how we are tripling. We're going to do that regularly, right? And in this report, if you click on it online, we had to list the number, right? So I had faith. I said this. I said, okay, you say we should go with 7 million. I'm saying we should go with 10. I said, I'm going to leave it up to our leaders in Phoenix, okay? Which number? How many of you think we should go with the 5 to 7 million number? Okay? Did all our employees hear the silence, right? Silence, right? How many of you think we can get 9 or 10 million lives impacted? Yeah, right? I know we can do that. Let me tell you one small way we're going to do that. Okay? This is one small way, right? One of the things is I committed. So, by the way, I knew you'd say that. So we put 10 million in the report. So it's in there. Okay? Because we're going to set ambitious goals and we're going to go achieve them. So one of the things we've done is we've said, okay, I've talked to some leaders about this a little bit, and they've said, well, which oils really have the biggest impact on impacting the most lives, right? Now, you have your favorite oils, but we have this broad array of amazing oils. Which oils, if you focused on, would have the biggest impact in the number of lives? Our team, when I talked to our sourcing team about this, Tim Valentina in the group, they got really excited. They came up with this huge statistical model as to how they're doing it and all these graphs and charts. But the point is, they came up with these 10 oils, and then we're going to get to a broader list in a minute, but these are the highest 10 oils that have the biggest impact. Tea tree, geranium, ginger, cardamom, lemon, eucalyptus, copaiba, lemongrass, wild orange, turmeric, and helichrysum. These are oils that have a huge impact in terms of numbers of growers. So what we're doing, I want to explain the top 3 to you. And tea tree comes out of Australia, but also comes out of Kenya. In Kenya, we have over 900 farmers who grow tea tree for us, okay? These are very small, less than a half an acre of land, right? They make 4.5 times as much income by growing tea tree than they made before, right? So it's wonderful for them. Yeah. If we triple the impact and get that up to nearly 3,000 farmers, we'll impact 16,000 lives with that one oil, right? Instead of 5,000. So the point is, if you have a choice, promote tea tree, okay? Tea tree's a great oil. The next one is lemongrass. Lemongrass comes out of India. These are a little bit bigger farms in India, average about an acre. We have about 540 farmers today who are growing lemongrass. It's harvested 4 times a year, right? They make about 4 times as much as they made before. If we increase that, we can go from 3,000 lives to 12,000 lives, right? The next one is ginger. Ginger's grown in various countries around the world. A beautiful oil. It's wonderful. I've been involved in planting and harvesting ginger in various places. It's amazing. Again, small acreage, but they make up to 9 times as much profit, right? This is a wonderful oil for them to grow. Again, we can significantly increase our impact by focusing on ginger. Now, there's some blends that are great. You know, all of our key blends really tie right into this. On Guard and Digescent and Breathe. They have these oils in that are really important. Wild orange, and you look at Digescent Breathe has tea tree. Digescent has ginger, has cardamom. In fact, this is the list. So you can take this picture and focus on these oils, right? These are the high impact oils. One, Emily, I know, wanted to make sure was on the list, and it was. This pink pepper. What a great oil that is, where we impact lives for the better. And then there's blends. All these are really important. I know you're promoting everything, but will you focus on promoting these oils? Yeah. I know as you do that, that's going to help us achieve our goal. And it's going to be exciting. In fact, what we've done is today you can take a picture of this QR code and it provides resources. You can go to Source to You, and there's a lot more resources that we're putting on these oils and on other oils so that you can market and tell the stories, the beautiful stories behind these oils. You know, Henry Ford said that if everyone is moving forward together, then success takes care of itself. I really believe that, if we're working together. One of the key points that we're really focused on today is looking at, you know, the founding executives and what we did in the early days and what the company's been founded on. We have our employees, right? We have amazing employees who are wonderful. Some of them don't quite understand who we are, what we're doing. We're working on that, right? And then we have amazing wellness advocate leaders, all of you, right? As we work on bringing everyone together in one united doTERRA family, then I know that we can change the world for the better. And we can help the world heal when we're united, when we're working together. This focus of tripling our impact by 2030, you're going to hear over the next few days some key things. We have some strategies, specific strategies that we're going to be focused on today and in the coming year about loyal customers, to increase the number of loyal customers that we have, increase sharers. We want more and more people to share essential oils. There's a lot coming in that regard in the next year. We're excited about that. And then financial freedom. It's important. We want people who make a reasonable income, a reasonable part-time income, and full-time income. But we want a lot of people to be able to benefit from this. As we work together, we know that great things will happen. So let me just conclude with this statement. This is from Marianne Williamson, an author, American author. It's a great statement that in every community, there is work to be done. In every nation, there are wounds to heal. That counts our nation as well as many other nations. And in every heart, particularly every heart in this room, there's power to do it, right? So, will you join with me, right, on tripling our impact by 2030? Can we do that? Can we do it? I know we can. I want to tell you that if we increase our skill set by coming to events like this, as we work with our organization in a positive way and love everyone, and as we have a passion that drives us every day to help the world heal, I know we'll accomplish great things and our goals will be very easy to achieve. It's wonderful to be with you. We'll see you throughout this week. Thank you. We'll welcome back to the stage the woman who has the biggest heart in all of doTERRA, Emily Wright.